Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is Vigorelli Institute. Now, let's dive into episode 6 here with the evolution of our little religion. Now, in the last episode, we did a schism, okay? It was along cultural lines in a lot of ways. The difference is Tennicism has held with the gods, whereas the Appalachists, Appalachianism, that is, have gone philosophic. Okay? Bit of a difference, and no, they are not going to get along. So, we're going to fast forward to about the early 1500s. Okay? European history is the same. Ish. Okay? Key differences would be academic, as far as I'm concerned, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay? The tech difference between European explorers and the Americans, as they will be now known, is about 1 to 2 generations. Okay? So, the Americans are behind. Why are you not capitalizing? Stupid thing. The Americans are behind regarding gunpowder. And various building techniques. Okay, so they're give or take Japan at about this time period. Okay, they do have steel. So how is that possible? Well, there are certain technological advancements, especially chemical things and physics things, that you're just going to figure it out because it's universal. The technique to which you arrive at that might be same or similar. The way the technology is applied, that can change. Okay? That's why in Arabia, yes, you get curved swords, whereas in England, you get straight swords. Okay? It also depends on the way you fight. Now, these guys, who knows? I don't know what they would look like, and I don't care. It's irrelevant. Okay? This is... That's how I spell that. There's no 5 in there. This is important because the Europeans will have an advantage in tech, but not manpower. Meaning, the larger army will be in the American favor. Okay? Additionally, because of the larger and more advanced population, they will have better immunity to disease. That means less of an impact from plague. Okay? Very important. Okay? So, Europeans will set up trade cities in North America. Either conquest or alliance, okay? Or simple settlement. Meaning, well, there's nobody here exactly, so we'll just kind of move in. Meanwhile, you know, it's the vacation home of some chief, and he's just going, bro, the hell? Okay? Because their settlement patterns will probably be a touch different for whatever reason. Okay? That being said, I would expect full-blown cities to be here in the New World in this timeline. Okay? Given that the Europeans are still Christian, they will send out missionaries into the inland areas for exploration, trade, and conversion. That's great, Billy. I don't care. Now, this is where we can start to get into this. Okay? Tennicism will likely regard Christians in one of two ways. Scroll down. Not that far. Okay. One. Annoying. Annoying and idiotic. Annoying and idiotic. How could there not be more than one God? Okay? Two. Interesting. Interesting. This will likely be due to ease. Okay? The reason being, reason for the second option is the same way that Christianity spread in Roma. Okay? See, what happened is in the Roman Empire, okay, any given person would likely have upwards of 5 to 10 separate deities that they would be paying homage to. Okay? You've got your state god, okay, which is probably going to be the emperor and Jupiter, okay? So we'll say 2 right there, okay? Now let's say you're a craftsman, so you got Vulcan / Hephaestus, that's 3, all right? You live in an area that was where the Roman pantheon supplanted a Celtic pantheon, but that Celtic god is still revered, so that's 4, because you don't want to make them angry, okay? And they're kind of dovetailed in with another one. Now, because you're also a craftsman, you got to sell your stuff, so you got to make cool with Mercury too. That's 5 gods right there. Okay? And we haven't even gotten into the nitty-gritty of daily life. Now, let's say that you're married, so you got to pay homage to Juno so that the wife doesn't get upset, or the husband doesn't get upset. Additionally, you want to make some babies, so you got Venus coming in. And also, you really don't like having barbarians break into your house and steal stuff, so you got to make good with Mars. Okay? Additionally, you got a thing of, you're kind of getting up there in years, so Pluto you may want to talk nice to, because, well, you kind of want to get accepted into the underworld, okay? And not wander around as a shade for eternity. That's 9 gods, okay? Each one of these is going to require something different. As a result, it's almost a full-time job just keeping up with your religion, okay? Not to mention all the crap you got to do, so now you got to take time off, go to the temple, make an offering. You also have to be able to afford the offering, or you have to afford a facsimile of the offering, at which point you may incur a slight karmic liability there, which you're going to have to pay back, and it just becomes a whole mess. Why not just condense everything into one god, make it easy, you show up on Sunday, you sing some songs, you eat some bread, drink some wine, Bob's your uncle. Okay? That's actually a lot of how Christianity spread during the Roman Empire. It was easier, okay? Hell of a lot less stress. Anyway, this will probably win converts, okay? With the ease of one god versus homage to several. The time and resource savings is high. Thus, people convert. Okay? Because why should I pay? Why should I expend all of this resource, all of this time, when I can do the exact same thing for cheaper? Okay? Never mind faith. Never mind that. That's economic. Okay? And by the way, this is probably going to be a very warlike, very economic people. Okay? That being said, the whole Prince of Peace thing, they might get a wee turned off. They might think he's a bit of a weak one. But maybe they're sick of going to war, especially against a superior foe. Okay? So, the conversions will cause a rift in the culture. Okay? Tenicists will likely attack the Christians and either kill or expel them. This happened in Japan during Meiji? I want to say Meiji. It was illegal to be Christian in Japan. It's only been technically legal to be Christian in Japan for a few decades. Okay? And even then, you're kind of on shaky ground in a few areas. Okay? So, however, there will be a bleed over of ideas. Okay? This will cause the tenicists to condense spell correctly. Thank you. The pantheon. Okay? So, we've got a bunch of gods. Okay? They're going to be condensed. It's going to take some time. Okay? This will likely take a few generations to complete. Okay? Reason being for that is you got to get used to it. This whole one God thing to these people is a very, very liberal concept. But you never thought you'd hear that, did you? Okay, conservative means old. It means the way it is done. Liberal means new and disruptive. Christianity here is going to be liberal, okay? As will the condensing version of Tennisism. Okay, so let's examine that. Okay, so currently, now there's going to be some slight modifications as time moves on, but you know, we'll get there. Okay. So West Pantheon, let's come up here. All right, so we're going to be condensing some things, okay? So, no change on death. Okay, guaranteed. Okay. So, royal and war will merge because it's logical, okay? They're going to run into, okay, because martial power comes from state now. Okay, that makes sense. Go away, stupid note. All right. So, 4 now become 2. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, this will be M/F. Okay. Now, we also have, here, where was I? All right. So these two give birth to trade. Okay. Now, we've got law. Okay. Okay. War/royal merge with law. Okay. And probably, hang on here. My notes are terrible. Okay. All right. So we've got this. Okay. Now farming. Hang on here, I'm thinking. Okay. All right. So these guys merge. Okay. So now we've got 2 out of there. Okay. Building and writing have already merged into 1. Okay. Love, trade, and death. Okay. All right. So current count is 3. Okay. Then where'd you go? Okay. That's the East Pantheon. Okay. Which is basically gone. Okay. So the older gods merge with the newer royal gods. Okay. Still 3. Okay. So still 3. Okay, so love will merge with marriage. With royal female. Okay. So we're at let's do this. Female god, female deities merge with royal goddess, if I can spell, and male merge with royal god. This leaves the androgynous trade god / writing god. Okay. Current count 4. So this has gone from a pantheon of about 20 some odd gods to 4. Okay. Now, that takes care of the West. Okay. Wow, good job. With come here you go. With Appalachianism, we're going to copy that. Okay. The effect is different. Okay. Because the Christians are seen in the same light as their Western cousins, they will be ignored and killed. Okay? Because these guys don't like gods. They are pure atheists. They are philosophic. Okay? The Christians once they see the serpent iconography, they will declare, holy war. This won't end well. Okay? The widespread version will end in war. Okay? And the religion will be driven underground. To become a secret society. To become a secret society as the Europeans colonize the area. Okay? So it goes full on corruption. This will result in corruption. Okay? So basically, they will become everything that their deific Western counterparts said that they were. Okay? The people that are adherent to Appalachianism are not good people anymore. At one time, they may have actually been halfway decent to deal with. They most likely would have had a concept of poison is bad, but if you use it correctly, it can lead you into enlightenment, okay? And, you know, getting bit by a snake, whatever, it's now just your time, okay? Whereas, instead of turning this inward and introspective, it's going to become highly aggressive while remaining in the shadows, and serpent iconography here is going to be synonymous with devil worship. Okay? Okay. The resulting cults will be highly aggressive. Be highly aggressive and secretive. Okay? Europeans will eventually be introduced to the ideas, but not for at least 300 years. Here's why. 1800s, okay? 1800s into the 1900s, there was an outgrowth in the industrialized world of esoterica, okay? This is where Hermetics started to be studied. This is where Taoism started to be studied, Kabbalism, etc. People are doing seances. There's weird hidden cults everywhere, and that's what the rich people were doing. Sometimes the poor people would get in. Freemasonry exploded in this time. So you're going to see something very similar here, okay? The name of the cult will be similar to, just paste it, Appalachianism, but the doctrines will be about power. Okay? There. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to use that. You can't make me. We're all... Alright, that'll calm you down some. Okay, so... upon entering the modern era, okay, the changes of the religion will... Okay, alright. Once the colonial era, not year, thank you, era is completed, and the new nations are more or less stable, because the let's see here, Tennicism will be essentially finalized, okay? Depending on how the nations get along and how persistent the Christians are versus the Tennicists, it might be religion might die out or become like Shinto or Hinduism and be almost an ethnic system of belief. With non-ethnic adherents springing up in neighboring countries or trade partners. Okay. That's what I would expect. So, I'm thinking we'll kind of call it there. Okay. If you want, I could continue on. Not exactly dealing with a religion, but maybe writing the gods. Okay. We could start all the way back at the beginning and explain, and I could go into the specifics of how gods get named, how they behave, and all of that, and how they kind of evolve to get to this point, philosophically speaking. I've kind of done the nuts and bolts of it, but I have no idea what the royal god is called. Haven't a clue. Okay? It does kind of depend on the way the system comes up. Okay? Our old gods are actually named based on the thing they're named after. Okay? So the war god would probably have an old version of the word for wolf. Okay? Same thing with the war goddess being an old version for, like, bobcat. Okay? Or lynx. Or cougar. Yeah. So, I could do that for you if you like. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. I would much appreciate it. So, I think that's about got it for me there. So if you're new to the channel, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. and I will be back later. I've got a lot more conquest to do on EU4. I'll be getting to that. And by the way, if you want to get in touch with me directly, you can follow me on Twitter, handle in the description. Link in the description for my website, vimandvigorelli.com. I've got books, merchandise, etc. Go ahead and check that out. Explanations are there as to how things function and all that. If there's any issues, please let me know. Okay? So, you take care. Bye-bye.